What's up, guys? So welcome back to Bama Jaybird Resell. As always, I'm Josh. It's so good to have you with me again today. I'm excited about this episode. It's basically just a what sold video. But guys, I've had a huge couple of days leading into Christmas. I'm kind of shocked, honestly, that we've had so much business here leading up to the Christmas weekend. But I don't know how things are going for you. But again, I've had 16 sales over the last couple of days for a total of $856.59. So really glad about that. I had 2 or 3 really big sales that I'm excited to show you. All right, so let's jump right into what sold. I'm going to start off, as always, with the lower dollar items and kind of work our way up and build toward the best sales. This first item that I sold it's not in perfect condition, but it is old. This is vintage. I believe it's dated 1981. This is an old Garfield necklace that was put out by Avon. It's got some little scratches on it and some scuffs, but I made sure to note all that in the listing. Didn't sell for very much, but I gave a dime for this, and I got $5.59 plus shipping, $11.38 total for this going out the door. It doesn't weigh hardly anything, so that'll be a good little profit. The next item up, this is just a blank single stitch. This is vintage 90s Fruit of the Loom. It's just a really nice teal blue color, and of course made in USA. I took an offer on this of $10 plus shipping. So we got that going out today as well. And then if you're not familiar with this, of course, everybody knows to watch out for, I would assume most resellers know, to watch out for the Sony Walkman and in the tape versions. They can be really good sellers if you find some that are functioning. And then certain models can be very valuable, especially, man, if you happen to find one in the package. But you can also scavenge things off of them. So if you get it really cheap, even just the headphones. So these are the same headphones as you find in like Guardians of the Galaxy. Same model. This is MDR006. And these sold for $16 plus shipping. Now, had these been, if you find the ones that have the orange muffs, the ones that are exactly the same color scheme and all colorway as Guardians of the Galaxy, they can sell upwards of $50. So be on the watch out for these. Sometimes you pass over those old busted or where the battery compartments are bad, but if they got a good set of headphones that the foam's in good shape on, you can still get a pretty good dollar for those. All right, so next item. We have a Duluth women's athletic style tunic top. It's called a funnel neck, and I've had this for a little while. I think I gave $5 for this, if I remember right. I can't remember what store I got it at, but I'm assuming it was Goodwill, so probably $4.99. And this sold on offer for $15 plus shipping. So again, and by the way, the t-shirt, the Made in USA t-shirt, I forgot to tell you, but on that one, I gave $2.99 for that at the thrift store as well. Next item. So I know there's controversy sometimes surrounding these, as you've heard Kevin say on Commonwealth Picker, but this is a New King James Version Bible. I do pick these up just like a lot of other resellers when I find them and they're in pretty good condition, not written in. This one's not perfect, but it isn't written in. It's just, you know, it's got some little scratches and stuff, but in very good shape for use. And I picked this up at the thrift store. I think I gave $2.99 for this one, or $1.99 I think is what they cost there when they're not marked, and this didn't have a sticker. So I think it's $1.99, and then this sold for $20 plus shipping. So pretty good turnover there. And my opinion is there's nothing wrong with selling those. I mean, every one that I've ever had to be paid for. So I'm not trying to, you know, do something inappropriate. I wouldn't mind giving them away if someone come to me and said, hey, I need a Bible, and I had one on hand like that. I would be fine with delisting it and giving it to someone. But in this particular circumstance, you know, I'm going to list them and make a little money off of it and hopefully provide somebody with something that they need. Next item on the list, I have a pair of Nike athletic pants. Nothing special about these. I gave $2.50 for these at my local thrift, just the town over, and these sold for $17.99 plus shipping. $17.99 plus shipping. So athletic pants, they're not going to make you a lot of money, but if you can get those things for like $1, $2, $3, whether it's a yard sale or at a thrift store, at the bins is a good place to pick them up. If it's Nike, Adidas, you know, good brands. Sometimes Under Armour, depends on the style. But if you can get those in good colors, good styles, very good condition, then they sell pretty good for $15 to $20, somewhere in that range. So the less you have in them, the more you can make. This next item, this comes from the thrift store here in my hometown, little small town thrift, a mom and pop type shop. It's a Bugatti, I think that's how you say it. Who knows? I'm not good with some of these names. Bugatti Uomo, and it's a really cool blue paisley print. I thought this was a really pretty shirt. I'd actually seen this, man, I don't know how many times, probably over the course of 6 months. It had been hanging on the rack, and there's no service there, or at least there wasn't any service there. And I kept passing it up, and then they put a tower up close by and finally had service in there. I looked the thing up, and it actually had some value. So it was like $1 off the dollar rack that day. They were getting ready just to get rid of it, and I sold it for $20 plus shipping. Next item. So the bean boots, that's what these are. They do okay. The gum sole, just the leather top bean boots, little small low top boots. These are a 7 medium, not a really big size, but like a women's model. I don't know that I would suggest always picking these up. I found that I've had a harder time, selling these than maybe some people do. I got $19 plus shipping on these. I probably gave $7 for them. So no, I take that back. I gave $10 for these. So I'm not really going to make much money on these. I'm not going to break even. I might make $2 or $3, but it's not going to be much at all. And I just overpaid. So I would suggest, if you're going to pick these up, if you're going to buy the LL Bean boots, the bean boots as they're called, even though these are vintage, that you be careful about spending over $3 to $5 for them, because though you can get more than 19, 25 to 30 is going to be kind of a hard sell right now. It seems like, anyway, on a pair of these, or have been for me. So these are set for a while, but they did sell. I'm glad they sold. At the very least, my money's back, and I get to invest that in something better. I'm trying my best in this year coming, and I've tried my best these last couple of months to really focus on buying better inventory. And when I buy inventory that's more commonplace, making sure that I buy it at a really low cost, so that when I sell it, I can price it to move and I can still make a good profit. So I've got some old stuff like that I've listed here and there. Some stuff's been in the store for a long time when I was learning that I didn't do as good on, but we're getting better. And you can learn with me as we go. I've learned a lot in the last couple of years, and especially in the last 6 months since I started trying to make this full time. This next item is a Lily Pulitzer. It's a activewear, quarter zip or half zip. It's got the palm tree on the front, just in a pink color. I listed this with the keyword Barbiecore. I found that since that movie come out, as a lot of you already know, but if you don't know, if you list women's clothing items that are in these pink colors like you see oftentimes associated with Barbie, put Barbiecore in your title, and it seems to help it move a little faster. I listed this and sold it the next day. I took an offer of $22. I probably could have got closer to 30, but guys, I gave $2 for this. And you know what? I was glad to get it sold that quick, so I let it go. Some people have a big issue with leaving a couple of dollars hanging, but for me, it gets it out the door. I can take that same money, buy new inventory, hopefully more things just like it that sell fast, and I reap a good profit on. All right, next item. And I'm sorry it's a lot of clothes. Some days I have a lot of hard goods. Some days I have a lot of clothing. I just seem to have a lot of clothing items today. But this is a Patagonia. Patagonia is called the Oaks. It is a quarter zip pullover. So it's not the Better sweater. It's not one of those. This is a different style. This is a little bit older, but it's called the Oaks. It's in excellent shape. Again, I gave $2 for this at local thrift, and this went out the door for $24 plus shipping. So we're kind of building towards some of the better stuff now. This next item, the rest of these sales to me are really, really good sales. These are the kind of sales that I would like to have all the time. I would like to move my store in a direction where, the majority of my inventory falls into these ranges. But as of right now, that's not the case. And I've got a lot of dead, death pile stuff that I need to process that's not going to be there. But as I'm buying new inventory, try my best to focus on better items. So this right here, this is a vintage Levi's red tab denim button shirt. This is long sleeve, extra large. And one of the things that sets this one apart, I said it's red tab, but if you can tell here in the camera, this has the metal buttons. So if you find one like this, they usually do pretty well. So I listed this, I forget what I had it listed. Well, I think I got full asking price. So I sold this for $29.99 plus shipping. So $30 basically plus ship. That was a good little sale. I think I gave about $8 for this, $7 or $8 at the thrift store. It's in one of my videos that I'm working on that I got to get posted from doing some picking. This next item, I've had this in the store actually for several months. I've had lots of interest. I've had lots of watchers. I just hadn't found that right buyer yet. And so I finally took an offer on this. I had this listed up close to $60. I took an offer. This is a Polo Ralph Lauren, and it's one of those really cool like color block. It's got a lot of stuff going on. It's blue and red with this applique patch saying Polo across it. It's also a 3XB, so 3X big and tall, and that helps it. So I picked this up. I know it was less than $10. I think $8.99. And I don't pay up for these things like this very often anymore, but this one was a good choice. I sold this for $42.58 plus shipping. $42.58 plus shipping on an offer. All right, next item going out. I did a short about the CDs that I purchased at the little yard sale where the lady does storage cleanouts. And that same day that I purchased that, I got some other stuff too, a few other items, some Arthur Court stuff. I got an old Elvis tapestry. Just, I picked up a handful of other cool items. And one of the things that I got was this hand-quilted tree skirt. Now, you can't tell a lot about it probably in this pack, but it's definitely got a little bit of that Christmas/America theme going on. Very much kind of that Americana vibe, folksy look, folksy vibe, a very country. It's got houses and churches and stars and, things like that on it. But it's really, really nice. And guys, this one is huge. The diameter of this was about 80 inches. So really, really big diameter. And there wasn't a lot. I didn't find it. I mean, there's a lot of tree skirts. There's quilted tree skirts. But for one this size, I didn't see anything to comp it off of. So I decided just to go out on a limb. I priced mine up at $79.99, thinking at the very least, if someone interested come along, I would be able to get top dollar from an offer. And so I got an offer of $65 for this. So I took the offer, $65 plus shipping. That's going out the door, hopefully to a happy customer. It's a beautiful item, one of a kind, hand-quilted tree skirt, patchwork. All right. So I also did a short on this item. This is just a really cool and awesome find. I think this might also be in the picking video that I'm going to be putting out from the thrift store. But this is from a stop at Goodwill. It is that bag of holding, famous from Dungeons and Dragons. That's a good thing to put in the title for one of these if you happen to find one. I'll go ahead and say these aren't going to pop up all the time. But they're a very cool item. This one's a little bit more vintage. I say vintage. It's not vintage in age per se, but it is probably 15 years old or so. But man, it's in excellent condition. It's clean. It don't have any holes. The strap's good. Everything's here. I priced this up pretty high, over $100, and I was listing the offers. I finally got a good offer for it at $85, and a lot of these have sold in the $80 to $100 range. I went ahead and took the $85 offer. I gave $3.99 for this, if I remember right. It was well underpriced. They did not know what they had. So I think it's $3.99 into $85 plus ship. Great score, great sale. That's the kind of stuff you want to see happen all the time. All right, this next item I got at my local thrift. So if you've watched some of my videos, you know that, I do buy a good bit of Levi's stuff. I'm not, hardcore Levi's or anything. I just find a lot of it out here. And this item right here is another one of the Levi's trucker jackets. It might be kind of hard to see through the plastic, but it's a Levi trucker jacket in a camo. It's also Sherpa lined. And the thing that sets this one apart, I don't think I can get it pushed down to where you can see it maybe, but maybe we can get it down there. I would love to be able to show you. Let's see if you can see this in the camera. I don't know if that's going to be visible or not when you watch the video, but it says For Supreme. So this was a collaboration between Supreme and Levi's, and it is legit. You can go online and find these for sale from Levi's. And it's also in the camo, and some of the places on the camo, it's got Supreme written out. So I priced this up at $120. There's not a lot of sold comps because there's not a lot of these listed, but I knew it would be a good item, and so I listed this up at $120. I got an offer of $100, and I took it. So $100 plus shipping on the Levi's Supreme collab for the Levi's trucker jacket in camo. And that was also not even that great of a size. I'm trying to think. I think it was a medium. Yeah, that was just a medium. So that wasn't even like an extra large or a 2X. So I got $100 for a medium-sized jacket. That's kind of rare. All right. The last item. So if you thought those last two were good, we have the bag of holding for $80. We had the Levi's Supreme trucker jacket for $100. And of course, before that, we had the tree skirt for $65. We also have a pair of Red Wing lace-up boots. Guys, these are immaculate condition. They might have, I know they were worn once or twice, but you can tell when you really examine them, they were not worn much. I don't know what the story is behind them. I found them at Goodwill. I know that we have some factories where once you're there for so many months, they will buy you a pair of shoes and they'll have like the Red Wing truck come to the site and you just go on there and pick out what you want. And that might have been the case with these. I'm not sure. But however they come into possession of them, they didn't keep them long. They donated them. And Red Wings are very, very expensive. If you don't know that, Red Wing is a fantastic brand of boot to be on the lookout for when you're out thrifting and doing yard sales and garage sales. Flea markets, always be on the lookout for Red Wings, and if they're in good enough condition, you know, make sure you check them out. They can be a good resale. I had these listed up at $200. I had an offer come through of $170. I gave $25 for them at the Goodwill, so I turned $25 into a sale of $170 on a nice, clean, virtually brand new pair of Red Wing boots. And that was my biggest sale, of course, of the last few days. This is mostly over the last 2 days. I do have one other sale, or two other sales that I'm going to add to this video right here. I'll put some comps up for you on either side. Bing, bing, right there, okay? So over here, Lord have mercy, I can't think of the name, the Dolltown or something like that. You'll see it. I just can't get it, the name in my head. But it went out for $40 plus shipping. This preceded this total. And then also had a Game Boy Color, I'll put it over here, in yellow that I sold. And I think it went out for $60 or $65. You'll see it in the sold box up here. That went out as well. I had to get those two shipped off more quickly. I shipped those the last day, I think yesterday, because I had a request that they go in the mail. They're not going to make it by Christmas, but they were hoping that they would get there. And so I guess they think the Postal Service is going to make a 2-day miracle. But, you know, hey, it's in their hands. I did what I was asked to do. But if I was to add those back to this total, I would be somewhere close to $1,000 for the last 2 to 3 days. I feel like that's pretty good. You know, for me, I know there's resellers, man, that are just selling tons and tons of stuff. I'm not that guy. I'm still not there. My store's still growing. My sales are still growing. But I've been happy with this holiday season, this fourth quarter. I wish that I would have listed better. I do think in the year to come, probably one of the things that I really need to work on, and I've talked about this, I've taught about this, tried to teach a little bit on it in some of the teaching videos, how important consistency in listing is. And I've had times when I've been very consistent for a, you know, extended period of time, and then I just kind of get myself burnt out, and then I kind of ride this listing roller coaster for, you know, a week or 2 weeks, and I see its effect on sales. So I wish I would have had a little bit more in before the fourth quarter rush, but it's okay. I've done well. My store is still growing. It's still expanding. Sales are expanding. And that's my goal in this new year. I want to list more consistently. I do want to grow the store. I didn't make my, you know, I really wanted to get to like 1,200 or more listings by the end of the year. I didn't get there. I got over 1,000, and I don't know where I'm at right now. I might be under because I've sold so much the last few weeks, but I did make it over 1,000, but I need to really push. I'd love to get my store definitely above 1,500, hopefully to 2,000 by the end of this next year. And so I'm hoping that that's possible. What's your goals? Tell me in the comments. Hopefully you got a goal, something in mind that you're trying to do. And guys, while I'm at it, I do want to take this time just to say, again, thank you for watching. And I hope that things are going well for you. And if they're not, guys, just look up, hold on, hang in there, and hopefully we can get our minds in a good place and still be thankful for the good things that are in our lives, because we do have so many good things to be thankful for. So, guys, God bless you. And as always, guys, whatever you do, no matter how bad things may seem, don't you ever, ever give up. I love you. God loves you. See you on the next one.